In this video, I'll be discussing the topic feminist criticism and the role of theory. So, what is the role of theory in feminist criticism? In fact, theorization has been met with lots of criticism from various thinkers, and there are thinkers who accept theorization. There are who are skeptical about the use of theory. So, based on the approach towards theory, the entire feminist criticism can be divided into two categories. One is the Anglo-American feminism and the French feminism, based on their approach towards theory. So when it comes to Anglo-American feminism, though we use Anglo-American, that doesn't mean that all are English or all are American. It is a category that we usually give. So Anglo-American feminism, they are tended to be more skeptical about critical theory and cautious about using it. They are not so much happy about the use of theory in analyzing text. They have their interest in traditional critical concepts like analyzing the themes or motives or characterization, and also they accept the traditions of literary realism and also the representation of women's lives and experience, which can be measured and evaluated against reality. So again, the is a series of representations of women's lives and experience which can be measured and evaluated against reality, and they follow the strategy of close reading. Close reading means the closely reading of literary text, the words on the page, and explication of individual literary text as the major business of criticism. So in this way, they somehow reminds us of the liberal humanist critics, and uh, they may use other historical data and non-literary materials such as diary, memoirs, social and medical history, and things like that. So let us see some of the figures who are associated with this Anglo-American version of feminism. One is Elaine Showalter, who wrote the works like The Female Malady, The Literature of Their Own. Then Sandra M. Gilbert and Susan Google, who wrote the famous The Mad Woman in the Attic, Patricia Stepp's Women and Fiction. Then Terry Lowell, Consuming Fiction, Julia Swinton's Victorian Writing and Working Women, Cora Copeland, Sea Changes, Culture and Feminism, and Catherine Belsey, John Milton, Language, Gender and Power. So even though we use all these under the category of Anglo-American feminism, figures like Julia Swinton, Cora Copeland, etc., they belong to the Anglo or English feminism, and they are much more influenced by socialist feminist strands, or they are influenced by the Marxian thought. And also, even though they are considered, normally they are considered to be non-theoretical strand within feminist movement, they are influenced by Marxian and Marxism, and also they are part of Marxist feminist literature collective and literature teaching politics collective and so many other uh, conferences and activities associated with Marxian movement. So Anglo-American feminism, they are broadly American and British feminist, in which the English feminists, they are more or less influenced by the Marxian movements. Then the next category is the French feminism. Uh, though we say French feminism, they need not be everybody need not be the French critics, and they are mostly influenced by the psychoanalytic theories of Lacan and then Derridian deconstruction and post-structuralism and Foucaultian ideas. So they are overtly theoretical, and they deal with concerns other than literature such as language, representation, psychology. So some of the figures are Julia Kristeva, who wrote books like Powers of Horror, Revolution in Poetic Language, Desire in Language, New Melodies of the Soul. Then we have Helen Sixo, who wrote the works like The Laugh of the Medusa, The third body, Robert of the Wild Woman. Then Louis Irigaray, who is famous for the work The Sex Which Is Not One, and also other works. So even though we call them as French feminist, Julia Kristeva is actually Bulgarian, and Hélène Sixto is in fact Algerian born, but they are normally categorized as French feminist. So these are some of the theoretical strands within feminist criticism. One is the Anglo-American version, which are not theoretical in nature. On the other hand, the French feminism, they are influenced by psychoanalytic theory and post-structuralism and deconstruction. So we will see in the next video some of their views on language and other things. So this can be considered as a kind of an introduction to the theoretical nature of feminist criticism. Thank you.